just to perhaps take a look at the life and times of Lebo Mathosa. So the late Kwaito star, of course, passed away 13 years ago in a tragic car accident. And we're going to introduce two of our guests who will be chatting about the life and times. As I mentioned, her magic continues to move the hearts of the nation. We saw that she started her career back in 1994 with the popular South African band Boom Shaka at the age of 17, having caught the eye of producer Don Laka. So Boom Shaka then became one of the most successful Kwaito groups of the 90s, and we've seen that a rather intimate portrayal of her life and times can be seen in the upcoming biopic. It's called The Dream, the Lebo Mathosa story. It will illustrate the life and times of celebrated South African musician Lebo Mathosa. Renowned for her unapologetic demeanor, provocative dance moves, edgy fashion, trend-setting hairstyles, and of course infectious tunes. Perhaps to unpack her legacy a little bit more, we're joined by Monde Twala. He's the Vice President for Youth Music and BET at Viacom International Media Networks Africa, and actress Bahumi Madisakwane, who plays young Lebo Mathosa. Good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Morning.
You have a title and your surname. I really tried.
You did it good.
Sure. Thank you for joining us. Obviously, we saw the launch of Dream, the Lebo Mathosa story. Let's start off with what makes a musical icon, perhaps before we delve into what made her a musical icon for South Africa. How would you encompass that?
Listen, I think for me, it always comes from a culture base.
Yeah.
Music is life. Music is universal. Music inspires. Music is feelings. And I think part of celebrating the life of Lebo Mathosa and telling her story, I think is an amazing opportunity that as BET we had in partnership with Oka Media, in partnership with the DTI, and I think it's once again it's about paying forward. It's about making sure that its heritage, its legacy, making sure that we can use Lebo's story to inspire the younger generation and the young black girl who's in Davidton today in the East Rand, who's in KwaZulu-Natal. To lift themselves, she was a powerhouse.
Yeah.
And that's the big dream,
Yeah. So Bahumi, before I rope you in, Monde, we're looking at her impact on South Africa. We saw a lot of struggle icons use their music as a means of protesting for our emancipation. Here comes Lebo, here comes Boom Shaka, and all the other musicians that obviously then carried that post-democracy narrative forward. What would you say was her role in allowing us to just bear all and embrace who we are in a post-democratic South Africa?
I think Lebo's story is a story, it's a story of rising against the odds. It's a story of, it's a story of a young girl, which is, I think there's many other similar stories. But I think her success is about, how do you actively do it yourself? How do you turn it around for yourself? It has to start within, and you'll see in her journey in the biopic, that comes across very strongly, I mean, Lebo broke away from Boom Shaka.
Yeah.
And when she broke away from Boom Shaka, she, in fact, the title of the biopic is Dream, and that was her first album,
yeah.
That she as a solo album, and you can see she was focused, she was a professional, she was thorough, and she knew that she has to do it herself. She has to put in the time, the work ethic, and yes, I think a lot of people know that drama and on-stage Lebo. You're going to see a different Lebo. You're going to see the personal side of Lebo, the fragile Lebo.
Yeah.
You're going to understand where she comes from. You're going to understand who she was from a young age to when she broke up to be this mega Pan-African superstar.
Bahumi, as Monde mentioned, we've heard the glitz and glam side of her life. This is an intimate portrayal, though. So I'm wondering, as you had to prepare yourself for this role, looking back at the family that Lebo perhaps came from, how would you say that helped to shape her outlook on how she appeared in the public eye, perhaps how she decided to portray women at large as well?
I mean, I don't want to, share too much so that, people obviously get
Sure.
to see exactly what it was for themselves. But to put it briefly, Lebo came from quite a conservative family, and we all know that that is pretty much far from, the person that she portrayed herself to be on television. But I think what was beautiful is that she never lost sight of who she was and where she came from throughout her career. And she also never lost sight of her values, despite what people see, etc. And I think that's what makes the story really beautiful, is that you don't necessarily get to see two different people, but you kind of see a transition of someone, and you see how someone is when they're with, the public and their friends, etc. And you see them when they're with their family. It's not two different people. It's just someone who acknowledges both sides of, of who they are and of themselves. And she never, like I said, she never lost sight of her values. She never lost sight of who she was and where she came from. And so I think what she did was she just was able to use who she was and where she came from, and at the same time be able to stay true to who she is, even outside, in the public eye, etc. So it really wasn't like, like I said, two different people. It's just that she just had, her family side and
Private and public
and
persona.
a public persona.
What goes into preparing, or what went into preparing such a role? Expectations on your end? How do you think you did justice to the young Lebo's portrayal?
It was a lot, and I think it was a whole lot more than I thought it would be emotionally. One thing that I've always asked and prayed for was that whatever role that I get to depict, I hope that it has something to do with my personal life or my personal growth at that particular moment. And this role could not have come at a better, stage, because as much as I thought that I would depict this role really grew me. There was so much that I learned from Lebo. There's so much that I learned and that she's, helped me grow in. It took a lot of, it was physically taxing, it was emotionally taxing, and it wasn't just something that I could just base off of the knowledge that I could find out from the internet or whatever, I really had to do like some serious soul searching, a lot of prayer, and, ask about who she was from the people who were most closest to her, the people who were most dear to her, and really knew her. So it really wasn't a surface level kind of depiction of who she was. I think I really had to delve deep.
Yeah.
And I really hope that I did that justice. So, yeah.
So, Monde, back to the intimate portrayal. I mean, as Bahumi mentioned, we get to see a different side of Lebo. Based on the research and just the offering that you guys, as have come up with a 6-part series, what would you say was her ultimate search? That there was a void or a challenge that she was facing. How would you say she managed to overcome that, even at her untimely death?
No, listen. I think she did it all.
Okay.
I think she did it all. I think we all, we all have a purpose in life, and I think she found a purpose. I think she, her story really is a story of inspiration. And if you look at, I mean, BT's done other biopics previously, So we've done the Bobby Brown story. We did the New Edition story, and and I think Dream, the Lebo Mathosa story, has a kind of a similar kind of impact that it will have, because it's about also capturing the time, capturing a moment in time that a lot of people can use to just also lift themselves in the context of today. A lot of young people, it's also about making sure that heritage lives on, So a lot of young people, I think, are gonna now go back in time and get a glimpse of the context of the country at the time.
Yeah.
This was post apartheid, post '94, and a time when freedom was new, and everyone was experimenting. And to be honest, I think her story will definitely lift people. It will definitely lift people, to inspire future generations.
How would you say her stories helped to open up the industry? We've seen people having this discussion about allowing new talent to emerge. Bahumi, I mean, you're playing a major role at this point as well. How would you say BT has come forward to embrace that?
I think, just looking at Bahumi and the journey she took, so we held open auditions, early in the year. many people came through to audition for to be part of the series, and you know they put the effort. My woman put the time and effort. She stood in the queues an entire day, and you know she really committed herself. And once again, for us, it's all about how do you open up the industry? How do we create opportunities for young aspiring actors to be part of this journey? And we've got a few more of them that you'll see on the series who are either getting a first-time role or, you know, getting minor roles, which is really what our industry is about, you know. Particularly our brands, talent, working with talent and fresh talent across our different content offering is important for us.
Bahumi, what do you want the audience to walk away with? I mean, it's a 6-part series, so obviously it's spread out well over time. People will go through that journey. What do you want them to walk away with after watching it?
I really do. I mean, you know, this is a beautiful story, you know, and it's definitely going to be something that's, you know, extremely entertaining. But I think more than anything, I really want people to be able to see themselves in her story. Lebo, man, she broke barriers, you know, and she had many firsts, and I think that for some people who may be going through a whole lot of things, that may seem, you know, so far-fetched or so impossible. But you really, in the same way that I did, you really do see somebody who went through some kind of journey with ups and downs and really, you know, just overcame a lot of obstacles. And I really do feel as though it's something that every single person goes through. So besides just seeing something that, you know, can entertain them, I want people to see something that will encourage them and uplift them and really realize that, you know what, their dreams are valid, you know, especially as a Black African woman. It really is important for us to realize that, you know what, our dreams really are valid. There were times when it seemed completely impossible, especially, you know, before '94, as a Black person, let alone, you know, as a woman. And then now you get to see someone's, you know, story on a Black African, you know, a network that celebrates Black excellence, and it now seems possible, you know. And then now when you see her story, I really want people to look at it and be like, you know what, it really is possible for me to achieve my dreams, and that's exactly how I felt, and now I'm here sitting with you. So.
And there's a 6-part series coming out on online.
Dreams do come true.
Dreams really do come true.
Dreams do come true.
They do.
One day, they say art reflects society. Obviously, this is one such example. How do we take the baton that she's passed on to us?
I think we have a great responsibility. One, I think telling her story has come with a lot of pressure because everybody owns her, and everybody got their side of their favorite story of Lebo. Oh my gosh. But which is amazing because it just shows her power. You know, she was a real powerhouse. I think going forward, listen, I think this is also a lesson and a great lesson for us from a culture perspective, from an entertainment perspective, to really celebrate our own and tell our own stories. Let's not wait for someone else to tell our stories. Let's not wait. Let's not talk about it. Let's put action to our dreams and ideas. So I really want to thank everyone who's contributed towards making this a reality, to be honest. So all the contributors, all the many people and months that spent a lot of months doing the research and contributing towards her story and giving their sense of who Lebo was. So it comes from different parts, it comes from different spaces, and hopefully we will do this going forward. You know, this is for many other people. I mean, this continent, this country, has many legends and talented people that actually we can use their power and use their story to really inspire.
And we can rewrite the narrative about our continent.
Completely.
When is this airing? How do we contact, I don't know, the channel, etc.? Should we want to be part of the conversation? Because I do know there's a lot of that coming
it's 6th of November on BET channel 129 at 9:30. It's going to be a 6-part series, 6 1 hours that are going to be amazing, reflective. Opportunity for all of us just to look, you know, reflect and use this as an opportunity to, you know, just to drive excitement, also just inspire our industry, you know, we can do better, you know.
And Bahumi, how do we contact you on social media? I mean, you are a huge star of the show. And
Stop. Yes, on Instagram you can get me at Bahumi777.
Cool.
Don't know why. And on Twitter it's Bahumi_N.
All right, guys, thank you very much for joining us. Well
Thank
done.
you.
Thank you
Thank
for
you.
solidifying a little bit of our history. Good luck. I know that conversation is about to begin as soon as it is in November, but thank you for rewriting the narrative. Continue to do the good work that you're doing.
Thank you.
so
Thank you
much
for
for
the
having us.
support.